What's going on, guys, and welcome to a brand new video. I found 15 Subaru GC8's for sale in South Africa. So over the past 6 months, I've been kind of collecting, well, stalking maybe would be the better word, all the Subaru GC8's that have been for sale and a few GF8's as well that have been for sale in South Africa. This has been going on since about December plus minus of 2022. We're now sitting in May 2023, so roughly about 6 months. Now, unlike the old series that I used to do, JDM cars for sale in South Africa, I'm not going to give these cars ratings. So I've got quite a strong love for these GC8s. If you haven't been able to tell, this is not a green screen. I am sitting in the garage. My silver GC8, GT Turbo, my blue GC8. This is, it's a normally aspirated one, but pulling the motor, I'm doing a whole bunch of work. If you haven't been following the series, you guys should be following the series because there's a lot happening. Couple spoilers, or I mean, I'm sure you've been seeing on Instagram. If you haven't, you can see that there's seats installed. I've got a big wing on it already. Car's looking good. There's a lot of stuff happening to the car, but that's not what this video is about. This video is about the 15 plus GC8s that I found for sale online. Now, if you guys remember, I used to do JDM cars for sale in South Africa. This format is not anything like that. I'm not going to be giving these cars ratings. I'm just going to be showing you guys what I found, what I think about them, and I love every single one of these cars. Even the worst. You guys can figure out which is the worst. So diving straight into it, we're going to be going based on color. So we're going to start with the color black. And first of all, we've got this pre-facelift GC8. Now, a lot of people don't list the year models and all that stuff for the car, so I'm kind of guessing what it is. I've taken screenshots of the sale on Facebook Marketplace, etc., wherever I found the vehicle, and then a couple of the other pictures that came along with it. There's a bunch of Hardy-Dars somewhere outside, and it's like 7 o'clock at night. Crazy. So this guy, he wants 120k for the car. This car is currently for sale on the date 28th of May 2023. It's still for sale right now. He wants 120k for it. He says he's won a few car shows. There's no smoke, there's no problems. 147 kilometers on it. It's got a sunroof. He says limited because of a sunroof. That doesn't make the car limited. It does have the JDM taillights like I've got on both of these cars, but those can be bought anywhere. I don't know what it is, but if we look at the other pictures, it is definitely pre-facelift. So it doesn't have the crystal lights, crystal fogs. It's got the 2 lines on the bumper. These new age ones have got the single line. Looks a lot neater, a lot more modern, and I think a lot more aggressive. However, I do love the style, especially when you put those like square-ish fog lamp covers, the ones that the STIs had. I think it looked awesome. Unfortunately, he doesn't have any pictures of the interior, so I can't make out if it's got the modern dash, which I doubt. It's probably got the pre-judging by the door cards. So that's the one that I found. That's still available right now. This one, unfortunately, the guy only had one picture of it. I don't know if it's the same car actually. Is that the same car? Are those the same wheels? I probably should have looked before. Oh, no ways. Huh. No ways. It's the same car. It's got a sunroof. I didn't put 2 and 2 together. Okay. So this dude, I'll tell you the date now. Oh no, why does it show today? The date's all screwed. I don't know, let's say like 4 months ago plus minus. If this is all off my Google Drive, if I log into Google Drive, it'll tell me when I uploaded it, but estimate 4 months ago, this car is listed for 70,000 Rand. No details. And now it's listed for 120,000, and I'm pretty sure the dude's done nothing. Oh, please excuse me, I need a haircut urgently. Kids have been sick, I've been sick. Haven't had a chance to get anything done. How crazy is that? So it's actually the same car. I skipped that one because there was only one picture. Meanwhile, it's the same vehicle. Mad. So he wants 120k. That's all the black ones that I found. Then there's 2 blue ones. This one, I saw this 2-3 weeks after I bought this thing, and I was like, damn, I wish I got this. This car is near factory. It's almost standard. A buddy of mine We go way back. I'm talking Subaru Club 2006-ish. He has a red blob-eye and he ended up buying this car. And he's fulfilling a childhood dream of owning one of these old pieces of car. And he picked this thing up and now the car's sitting in Durban. So we just missed each other. I think he picked it up in January and I left in December. So this car, like I said, near factory, it's got 16-inch wheels. That's the new age bumper that I was talking about. Crystal fogs, crystal headlights. It's got that standard wing on it, the GT wing. It's got the yellow and red, so not the JDM taillights. It's got an HKS silent high power exhaust. It's riding on stock suspension. And then engine bay, stock. There's this little heat shield shroud thing. It's not stock, but I mean it's not doing anything, it's not serving any purpose. Aluminium radiator, it's actually exactly the same radiator that I have in the silver car, which is a Silverton radiator special. It's an aluminium in-tank, top tank. Actually the whole thing's aluminium, not just in-tanks. Beautiful, beautiful car. If you look at that, you can see it's still got the stock dump valve set up on it. Damn. Props to Linton for grabbing this thing. I know he's happy. I know he's happy with this thing. He's looking for a couple other parts. And wow. Look at that in the background. This is for sale right now. 70k. Yeah, so it's got a Lamco boost gauge, stock steering wheel's in good condition. It's got the grey trim, the grey seats. I've got the red trim in this car. Looks really good. You see what I meant about the other car with the grey door cards? So he's picked up this car and it's, like I said, near stock. Beautiful, beautiful specimen. This is going to be a super quick one. This is just a single ad. This guy's name is Sheldon. He's a mechanic in East London. He's apparently the best in the Eastern Cape area. He used to live in Port Elizabeth. We had quite a long chat on the phone a couple of months ago. I was looking for a starter motor for this car, but Dave Brunskill managed to sort me out in Durban. Sheldon's selling this shell. I forget how much. It's just around 10 grand. It's a rolling chassis. There's no gearbox, no engine, but it's got full suspension. Apparently it's still in decent nick. I'll just see the bumpers hanging. That's the only picture I have. That's all I know about the car. It's still listed on Facebook right now. Okay, this one I found on JDM Collective. This car has been sold. It's a questionable color. Looks like it was quite a neat spray job, but it's a facelift. So it's a 99 2000 model. It's got coilovers. There's no info that actually states anything about the vehicle and year model and all that stuff. So it's got a front lip. It's got fog lamp covers. Stock GT wing, stock tail lights. A lot of mileage. The seats are also pretty questionable. I don't know what boost gauge is. Could be a Lamco. That is cool. That is super, super cool. I've been looking for one of those, to be honest. I think this car used to be blue. Or, I don't know, it's just probably got blue carpets from maybe an STI or something. I'm looking for one of these on overseas in Japan. If I don't find one in the next couple of months, I'm just going to throw a triple gauge pod in the center. It's got stock cluster on the car. I mean, it's a good looking car. I mean, good parts on the car. Color questionable. We'll move on. Jeez, we're chomping through this. This car was for sale for 30 grand. Here we go. Sold. 30 grand. So this is an STI. I don't think it was ever an STI. It's got fog lamps in it. But it's definitely a GC8. It had papers. I saw this only when it got sold. That's why I have an image of it saying sold. And it was unfortunate because I hadn't yet found and bought this car. So this would have probably been a better base than this car. But it is what it is. JDM tail lights. He's got the same wing that I've got in this car right now. Better wheels. Probably a better engine. Definitely a better engine. yeah, 30 grand. I'm not sure, but I've done some like Facebook stalking on this particular sale, and this went to, it either came from or sold to him, I'm not sure, Z-Works, the guys in Cape Town, and he does a lot of rally stuff. He's got a red GC8 as well. I'm not sure if he sold it or if he bought it. This was for sale for a very long time. Like, we're talking months now. Okay, this here. This is a real deal STI. This is what I was talking about. These are those fog covers. I dig these, like the square-ish type one. This car's for sale for about 185 or 190k, somewhere around there, for months. A lot of months. It then dropped to 125, if I'm not mistaken. And then it disappeared the next day. He probably got an offer. It was very high what he was asking initially, 180, 190k. Extremely high, but take a look at this car. 16s, these original ones that came on the car. I'm pretty sure it had coilovers on there. That drop is just a bit too aggressive for a stock car, but look at this, STI embroidered seats. These are standard on this car. Look how neat the boot area, all the boot trim and all that stuff. Okay, mine's popping out here. So was that car. I stripped out the boot. I think it's just a common thing where it kind of just pops out there, but everything else is just super neat. Momo race steering wheel, the same one I had in my R32 GTR. This is the pre-facelift interior that I was talking about earlier. Like on this car, you'll find, so we've got that dash thing over there. These buttons are all over here. It's vastly different. It's a lot more modernized on here, plus there's airbags and all that stuff, which I'm doing an airbag delete on this one. I've ordered that JDM pocket, so it's like a cubby hole type thing that replaces the airbag over there. That's on the way. There's actually a lot of stuff on the way for this. This is quite exciting. I need to stop talking about that because that's just supposed to be in the background. Now this, while I said I was kind of sad, I think I did say it, or I was thinking in my head, but it sold like this, and at 125k, really not a bad deal at all. He probably accepted a little bit less, maybe 120, 115, and I wish I'd gotten this. It looks neat. I don't know what the mileage was, but look at that. It's got proper EJ207. It'll be a EJ207K. Stock STI intercooler, stock dump valve setup, flaky intake paint, that's normal. Stock radiator. The only thing that's not stock on here is the intake, and that's it. Oh, it does have coilovers. There we go. You can see. I think those are like ISC coilovers or something. But anyway, it's doing the car some justice. Damn. So this thing sold. I was rather bleak about that. This one, another car that I found in JDM Collective. I don't know how much this one sold for, but questionable trim, hood scoop, side mirrors, wing. Yeah, big exhaust in the car, which is great. I think it's an HKS silent high power. Momo steering wheel. It looks a bit odd though. There's the dash pocket. That's what I was referring to earlier. So that's that airbag delete thing. So I've got one that's coming for this car. I don't know what the story is in this car, but there's a turbo timer. It's got the grey trim. I don't know anything about this car. There were no details, just pictures. Again, color, same as this, but questionable trim. Moving on. This one's still for sale. There's not many pictures. He's dropped the price, so it's sitting at 95k now. He was asking 145, silly money. So this car was for sale probably like 2-3 weeks before that other silver STI, the real deal STI, sold for 40 grand less, plus minus. But this is not like anything special. So the asking price is too high. He seems like quite a serious Subaru man. He's got a couple of others in the background, but I think we all are. I mean, I've got 3 now. I've got another one outside, but I mean, this is my 12th Subaru, and it's kind of like an addiction. And I'm pretty sure there are a lot more others like me, because I come across these for sale ads, and the guy's got another 2, 3 in the background. Maybe I'll just work on them. I don't know. See there. I think that one's for sale as well, and then this GF8's for sale. Doesn't say much on the car, just number matching car with the engine number and the chassis and all that. Pre-facelift. That's all I can tell you. And then there's the silver one. The silver one, there was only one picture, and he wanted that. The car disappeared, I don't know, 2-3 weeks after it got listed. I have a Subaru GT for sale, car is well looked after, sold with roadworthy compliance. 130k on the clock. Pre-facelift again, coilovers, smoked out, smoked out, smoked out, smoked out. I don't know, heavy tint. I don't know anything about this car. GF8. Yeah, this is the same deal with the JDM one, with the JDM GC8. I forget what the asking price is on this, but he's dropped it now. He's dropped it to 65k. Probably take 55, around there. There's just something weird about this car. Okay, so it's got a 20G, let's just go to the ad. It's got a 20G, it's got a bigger intercooler, it's got a bigger hood scoop on it. HKS dump valve, it's got a Walbro 450. High and low boost is, I wonder if he's doing it through the ECU or boost controller. He's got a 76 pipe all the way to the back. But I don't know what Bose need some touch-ups. Body, he must mean body. Body needs some touch-up. So he's in Eastern Springs. Okay, so this car is cool, but there's something that weirds me out about this car. So it's sitting on coilovers, which is awesome. I think it may have started life as an NA model, kind of like this thing. There's no vents on here now. GF8 Turbo did have vents. Okay, so that's the first weird problem. The second and the third. See, he's got multiple Subarus. I think he's got like 4. Okay, what the hell is this about? So it's got Scooby on here, and it's got a mile/hour dash. Was this an import? Like from the UK? I don't know. Second weird thing, it's got high and low range. Okay, I know that it does work with the clutch and manual and all that stuff, but I don't think it came on this model. I'm pretty sure it was in an NA version. I'll never know. Ooh, this car was cool. It was also sitting for sale for a very, very, very long time. 18 weeks, and I took this picture, I don't know, 5 weeks before it actually disappeared off the internet. Very rare V Limited. Now this car makes me sad because it is actually a V Limited edition. It is, I wouldn't say rare, but it's limited. And there were just some things that were done to the car that, I mean, okay, don't get me wrong, I'm all about modifying. I'll modify this shitbox, I'll cut this thing up, I'll do whatever. I won't cut this thing up. Ooh, the bonnet's open, just realized. I won't cut that thing up, but I'll modify it tastefully, which I have been doing. I've been throwing on HKS, Grady, Blitz, Apexi, Zero Sport, all the name brands, okay? It is really a V Limited. It's got all the badges. That's my wheel. Wow. These gauges, those are from AutoStyle. These are like cheapy AutoStyle, auto gauges, something like that. I mean, they work, they do the job, but you know, it's cool to throw on a different car and nothing wrong with them, but not for this. You gotta go period specific real JDM kit. My cupboard there is full of this stuff. And I can chop and change, so if I want a Blitz in there, which you can see over there, I got a blitz, I'll throw Greddy on. Yeah, I'm not going to throw an auto gauge in it. Okay, so first questionable mod is that the steering wheel is a little bit lame, the Momo one. I don't know what that is. I think it could be a turbo timer, I'm not too sure. The gear knob, I completely hate. And then look at this. It legit is a 1995 V Limited. It was one of something. Oh, here's the old door cards. So our current door cards have got all the switches on here. It's got like a whole switch panel. This is old. This is proper pre-facelift stuff. In Durban, car sitting on coilovers, completely blacked out. Like, I feel bad. So 832 out of 1,000. And then it's got this. It's got a front mount intercooler. Fun, that's okay. But then, like, not look after. I mean, flaky paint. It's like you pop your engine bay to show it off. Like, I won't pop my engine bay for anybody on this car. Don't ask me to show you. This thing, yes, cool. That, I would have cleaned it up. Look at the bonnet. Bonnet's full of gunk and, Anyway, this car sold. I'm assuming it's sold. Wow, look, like I'm like completely in love with this car, but I would have wanted to restore it and get it back to what it was within its former glory. Like I said, questionable stuff on there. This one, another white one. There's a lot of white ones to sell. This one's still for sale right now. I'm not sure what the story is now, but he wanted originally 100k for the car. He's got some very tasteful stuff on there. There's no engine bay picture at all. He's got a GT35 turbo, so I can only assume it's been rotated. It's a rotated mount kit with a front mount intercooler. There's a wastegate on it. There's a G-ready, it's a Greddy dump valve. There's coilovers on the car. There's racing seats with 4-point harness. STI taillights, so the taillights on both these cars. Flip, boot spoiler, and then decent mileage. You've owned the car for 12 years. This car is awesome looking. It is pristine from what I can see in the pictures. It's a real stunner. I'm not sure why your vents are black and your hood scoop is black. I guess you're trying to do like a contrast between colors with the lip and all that stuff. I mean, it looks pretty good. It's very much slammed there, and then the back looks like a monster truck. But yeah, this car's for sale right now. He wants it 100k. I don't know what he would want for it now, but it is for sale. And there's no interior pics. I think, I'm looking at it now, I don't think those are the OEM seats. No. I think the seats have been changed out. And I don't know. Like, it's a good price, but he'll probably drop it more. Looks like his missus is also listing the car for him. I think he said he's immigrating. Did he say that? Relocating, okay. So it's a shame he's selling. Bumpers hanging there at the back. 12 years, a long time. Long time to let go of something. I let go of my GTR after 9. It was the longest I've ever owned a car before. Oh, there's two white ones left. This is very pretty. This one, almost stock. It's got WRX wheels from a 2003 WRX, and then it's got the OEM taillights on it. The wing doesn't belong to this car. That's from a later model, like a 2011, somewhere around there. Doesn't look bad, just doesn't, I don't know, not for me. This thing is pretty stock. It's got double din radio, which looks like it came OEM from another vehicle, I'm not sure. Momo wheels, the same trim that I've got, the red trim. And this car, these probably came off the production line at a similar time. Cool car, great car. I don't know how much it sold for. They didn't list it. And then this thing, this sold very quickly as well. I forget the price. 200k. I don't know what it sold for. Maybe like 180-ish. He said not negotiable, maybe it did sell. Sold after 3 days. A lot of work went into this thing. So it's very nice to have, and it is the only one SA with a flat twin turbo. Dictator management, spent lots of money, it's an eye catcher, blah blah blah. Look at that. Look at that bay. Just go straight to the engine bay. Look at this. That is some serious, proper fab work. It looks amazing. Really, really, really dig that. The front is strange. Those covers are strange, but I guess you're doing it for a reason with regards to airflow or something. I don't know. Yeah, nice wing, and just good everything. Good ride height, etc. Clean shaved engine bay. That's what I want to do in this car. I want to get the engine bay shaved and all that stuff. Get rid of all the unnecessary stuff. After I pop the engine, I'm going to go wild and sort all that jazz out. I keep talking about this. It excites me because I can do it. Was so cheap. I can do whatever I want with it now. Great car. Oh wow, I didn't notice that. It's like a wide body. This is a custom wide body with the fenders and all that back skin. Good job, man. Okay, this is the last one for the night. I think this is like number 16 or 17. This car is for sale again. Okay, what I'm about to show you first, this is from the original owner. This car's for sale about mid-April, plus minus. Wasn't for sale for long. I found it the day after, and it's in wine red. I don't particularly like the color, but it is what it is. You can always respray and change the reg. This car's for sale in Vanderbilt Park, 65k, listed by Rion, and it's got those really lame tail lights, aftermarket. I don't know why you would change that. It's got a Momo steering wheel, it's got a cover on it, terrible. It's got terrible carpets. It's got a 360mm 3 gauge holder, and then it's got it's got the facelift. It's got the facelift stuff, but what threw me off right now was the boot there. There's a lot of cosmetic damage to this car, a lot. Bodywork, I don't think it's dented badly. I can't really see much, but I mean, look at that, look at that. It's not pretty. So it needs some reupholstery work as well. It is a GT. It's definitely a turbo model. However, I think this has been transplanted from another car. He said here that this is an FA20, and look, where is it now? Turbo inbox for info. He changed the ad. So see, I've got a 3-day one. There we go, found it. So he listed it initially for that, and then he listed it turbo inbox as well. So he put the FA20 motor. Then he says stage 2 turbo 48. THK turbo timer. So that's probably HKS turbo timer. This is probably a VF48 turbo. And I don't know if you meant EJ20 or was it an FA20. But this don't look right. So if there's any specialists in here, like this engine could be from a very early WRX where the turbo is doing exactly what it's doing there, or a newer model FA20, because generally your intake or inlet pipe would be coming out of here. It's very confusing. It's not the engine that came with the car. It's not an EJ20 like came in there. Right, that's the original owner. Like I said, that was April. Then the car landed up with this person, and it's for sale right now again. And he listed the car, I think, for 75k, and he's dropped it now to 65, I think 65. But it's got some issues. We didn't see that earlier. Fuel pressure regulator. He's fixed some stuff allegedly, sump, and a couple other things. Roof liner is sagging very badly. same story, it needs a respray and all that goodness, but it's got a big pipe in it, it's got WRX wheels on it from a 2003 Plus, those horrible lights on the back. It's still rocking that terrible cover and those horrible, that's dangerous dude, it's been pushed up, you might get caught when you're trying to brake. Yeah. Okay, so I don't know. I'm spending a lot of time on this because he listed it. It's missing a brake light. He listed it, I think like a month after he sold it. So there's either something horribly wrong with the car, or there's some sort of an issue. But it's the same car. Look at the number plate, DH62HH. If you go back to Rian's one, DH62HH, it's the same car. I don't know why he's selling it again. His missus has also listed the car for him, or on his behalf. Actually, no, I might be wrong. That was probably that white one. But somebody's listed, he listed it twice or something like that. And he's got 2 ads running for this particular vehicle with slightly different pictures. I think these pictures are from both ads. There was actually a picture of him in the car wearing a yellow vest, but I decided not to save that in this folder so I don't show you guys. Yeah, so my thoughts on this car, I'm spending a long time with it because it's still available and it's suspect that it's for sale again so quickly. Like I said, maybe there's nothing wrong with the car, maybe nothing serious. Well, I'm spending a lot of time on it because I think this is a really good deal. If you figure out what the story is with that engine, if it's legit and it's got paperwork and it is a proper, I don't know, EJ20K or FA20, who cares? As long as it's working, boosting, cars driving nicely, you know, that sort of stuff. All this other stuff is cosmetic. And I think for that price, if you could get it maybe possibly slightly less, then I think you're in for a bargain and getting yourself in the hot seat of one of these bad boys. And just feeling some nostalgia and JDM power from back in the day. So anyway, that's it for the video. No hate to any of these owners on any of the mods. It's just my personal preference, and I love these cars. Like I said, I love every single one. I love the maroon red one. If I was allowed to, this maroon red one would be sitting in my drive right now. I don't have the garage space right now, but it would be sitting with me. So that is it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed this. It's taken me a couple months just to collect all these vehicles. Kind of stalkerish, I know. I'm going to keep doing this, and maybe we'll meet again in 6 months time with another batch of GC8s. But if you guys want me to do this with some other vehicles, you let me know. And for now, take care, peace, see you in the next one.